Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Diamond Talks with Anthony. Today we're going to have a insightful conversation. For those that are new to the channel, we make mental health conversation content that's going to be beneficial to your personal development in addition to your well-being. However, in today's conversation, we're going to be talking about aging and mental health, right? So coping with emotional challenges of growing older, right? So I want to be able to provide and guidance in regards to recognizing common mental health and emotional challenges that are associated with aging, right? For those out there that hurt themselves, they tore up from the floor up, they ain't like the process, etc. But I want to be able to provide that support and promote emotional well-being, resilience, and quality of life in older adults, right? So aging is a part of the process, right? It is what it is. I know it's it's something that people don't want to be able to take into account, but we've got to be able to embrace our bodies, the wrinkles, whatever it is. Like, we got to love ourselves and affirm ourselves. So stick with me, grow with me. We're going to be able to navigate throughout this video. However, let's dive right into some, brief research, right? So mental health is a key component of healthy aging, influencing physical health, independence, and overall longevity, right? In addition to that too, early recognition in regards to support for emotional challenges in older adults improves overall well-being and life satisfaction, according to the National Institute of Mental Health, right? So growing older brings wisdom and experience, but it also can bring emotional challenges that that deserve some care and understanding as we're navigating through, right? So first segment, let's talk about common mental health challenges in regards to aging, right? And this is associated with our first key concept of that depression, right? So persistent sadness, loss of interest, and feeling hopelessness are not as normal part of aging, right? But this is something that is associated with those out there that have, difficulty with the aging process. In addition to that too, we have anxiety disorders, so excessive worry about health, finances, or even that independence. In addition to that too, we have cognitive changes in regards to mild cognitive impairment, memory concerns, and early dementia related to emotional distress, right? So depending on how we taking care of ourselves, genetics as well, we got to take that in consideration, but there is cognitive changes in the mind. Next is going to be that grief and loss, right? So emotional responses to loss of loved ones, roles, and physical abilities, right? So as we age, we've seen a lot of things, experienced a lot of things, right? Grief and loss, you've seen people come and go, right? So all these different things definitely take a toll in regards to your mental health. Moving forward, we also have the social isolation and loneliness, right? So for those out there, are tied to reduce social connection, increase the risk of depression and the cognitive decline, right? So that's why it's not good for us to be isolated for long periods of time, right? It's good to have that solitude, kind of get yourself refreshed, like know your inner self, know where you're headed, know where you're going, and being able to have that gracious gratitude. However, we need to be able to engage with other people to be able to reduce the sadness, reduce the depression, reduce the anxiety by just talking about these things and interfering and interacting with people. However, these are definitely our challenges that are tied into our mental health for those out there that are going through the aging process. However, next segment, let's talk about signs to watch for, right? So off rip, we have emotional changes, right? So persistent, like I said, the sadness, irritability, the anxiety, and those emotional numbness, right? So we got to be able to take in consideration of our mood. How do we feel, right? Moving forward, we also have behavioral shifts. So withdrawn from activities, changes in sleep or appetite, right? We got to recognize the behavior shifts in regards to our routine. We want to take in consideration of social withdrawal, right? So when you have reduced engagement with family, friends, or that community, right? So we got to watch out for the isolation, right? We really want to take in consideration, like I said, in that sense, things to watch out for. Moving forward, we want to take consideration of physical complaints, right? So we have headaches, fatigue, right? Your body's feeling inadequate, unexplained aches that are linked to emotional distress. We want to be able to reach out to our doctors, reach out to proactive people to talk about these things, right? Because these are things that are concerning, right? So I really want us to take that in consideration. We also have cognitive concerns, right? So increased forgettingness, right? So you're forgetting things, you feel confused or difficulty concentrating. So these are things that are tied to, backed by research, right? So I'm making sure that we're identifying things to watch out for as we feel unease. Moving forward, in the next segment, we're going to be talking about importance of early emotional support, right? So like I said, no one out here is gonna love you more than yourself, right? So by self-care, it's not just about getting your hair done and or buying something, or do what you gotta do. That's the feeling that you want. That's the mood that gives you that upliftment. Do what you gotta do, right? But it also derives in how we take care of ourselves, right? By going to that doctor's appointment, by talking to your therapist. It's helping your wellness, it's helping your well-being. It's also helping you, navigate the skills for that resilience. So as things are coming your way, you have the skills to deal with them, right? So I really want to take into consideration that, like go to that doctor's appointment. Make sure you have these proactive conversations, letting them know how you feel with regards to your mood, right? Talking to people and seeking people that are going to be able to listen to you, right? And without that judgment, right? So if you feel as if that this therapist may not be a good person for you, maybe, wrap it up and find a new one, right? So make the changes. Do what's going to be beneficial for you, right? Put yourself first. So I really want to take that in consideration because I want you to thrive, I want you to grow, I want you to improve, right? But I really want you to recognize and facilitate a change of action if things are not going the way that you anticipate them to go, right? But let's get back on track in regards to those importance of early emotional supports, right? So we have to have that healthy brain aging, right? So emotional well-being supports cognitive health and our independence, according to the National Institute of Mental Health. We also have prevention of escalation, so early support reduces the risk of severe depression, anxiety, and early decline in regards to that health, right? So we got to take consideration the earlier we hop on these things, when we seek that help, we advocate for ourselves, we're making the practical changes for our life, right? Things are going to be much better and beneficial for ourselves, right? To reduce all these other factors that are going to take a toll, right? Next is going to be the quality of life. So emotional in regards to the care enhances daily function and our life satisfaction, right? So good things take time, don't get twisted, right? But as we gradually are enhancing ourselves to that support and it's going to improve the quality of our life. Let's just get real, right? We also have the strength-based aging, right? So focusing on abilities, our wisdom and purpose promotes that resilience, right? So focus on your strengths, right? Focus on what you're good at. Focus on like what you're here for, the wisdom, the things that you acquired in your life, right? And how you're able to, sprinkle that onto people, right? It can be as simple as just saying hi to someone every day. Just, At least you're making those positive interactions. Focus on the blessing and the person that you are right now. Stop focusing on the aging factor, right? There's other aspects of aging that is beneficial. You have wisdom, you have experience, you have lived things that you're able to really, stand on. And also at the same time, too, I also want to tell people out there, too, is that, it's easy for me to say these things, but let me just be real with us, all of us, right? You're not the only one that's going through these feelings. There's been millions. Like I said, it's always good here and there. Sometimes to tap in, walk around the cemetery, pass by the cemetery, and look at those stones over there. You know what I mean? There's other people on this planet that have been here, that was breathing the same air that we're been breathing, right? And they went through their own unique process of aging, right? So we got to take in consideration that you're not the only one that's going through this stress, right? So take it easy on yourself, self-compassion, like I said, and focus on strength-based aging factors, things that, that you can focus on, like you're good at. And this can support your mental health on a positive note. So positive mindset. Next segment, we're going to be talking about strategies to support mental health in older adults, right? So off rip, I know y'all like that routine and structure, right? So predictable daily activities and improving our emotional regulation in addition to our stress reduction, right? So keeping it simple, not making it manageable, keeping that structure is going to help us with that emotional regulation and that stress too. Next is going to be social connection, right? So maintain those friendships, those relationships, community involvements, right? Can protect our mental health too. So it's good to go to that paint night, right? Go to that bingo. Do what you do, interact, Be out there, Interact, and have your time for yourself. Don't get it twisted, but social interaction is very important as previously discussed. We don't want to be having anxiety, depression, and that loneliness factor that's kind of tearing us down, keeping us taught from the floor up. Don't want that, right? So try to maintain those relationships, tap in, have fun, Do what's beneficial for you. Next is going to be the physical activity, right? So movement supports our, cognition in addition to our overall health, right? So try to be active as possible. Talk to your doctor, right? I ain't trying to push you outside your limits, right? But try your best, to get some movement in, because that can definitely help your mental health and your health. In addition to that too, open communication. So encouraging, once again, those open conversations, right? So about, feeling stuck in the stigmas, right? So, talk to other people about what you're going through. Be a little vulnerable. Talk about the aging process, connect with other people, connect with other adults about this stuff too. Because like I said, you're not the only one, but at the same time too, have love, compassion, right? You have lived experience, you're here, you got wisdom, right? So look at the positive side of life in regards to, being older. Next is going to be that professional support. So if necessary, reach out to that therapist, reach out to counselors, healthcare providers, like I said, your doctor, etc. These are vital people that play significant roles. They know what they're talking about. They have the curriculum. They went through their own unique process in regards to that education, right? So talk to them, right? And they can be able to provide that additional support. Next segment, let's talk about supporting families and caregivers, right? So education and awareness off RIP is going to be able to provide understanding for aging-related mental health challenges that can be able to provide that care. So everybody off RIP, we all don't gotta have all the answers, right? But as long as we're seeking the solutions, we're trying to get the information, the awareness, we're treating people with kindness, right? And we're doing the best that we can do to support people. That's all that matters, right? So understanding people and not having that judgment can really help us out as a collective. Moving forward, we also have caregiving well-being, right? So supporting caregivers reduces the burnout and it provides that the outcomes that we anticipate, right? So we don't want to be burned out, tore up from the flop, like I said, right? So we gotta be able to take care of ourselves and self-care, right? Community resources mentioned, so there's senior centers, there's also support groups, there's also, mental health facilities to be able to reduce that isolation, right? So for those out there that don't know where to start, go, or interact with people, but they want to interact with people, you got to seek those resources. So community resources can definitely be able to help. In addition to that too, is patience and consistency for yourself, right? So emotional support takes time, good things take time, right? But build trust with yourself, have that sustainability with yourself, allow you, push yourself to the best of your capabilities, right? But you really want to be able to seek that support, and things will be able to kind of, catch from there, right? So by you, as long as you're showing up for yourself, I think everything else should just kind of match, right? But put yourself first, I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you. But just wrapping up this video together as a collective, right? So aging with emotional strength, I want to be able to provide some research before we come to a close, right? So early recognition in regards to emotional support, community involvement in mental health in regards to that emotional, in addition to our social well-being and older adults. This can help us provide, more support in regards to those families, caregivers, healthcare providers, and communities that play a significant role in regards to promoting healthy aging, right? So stop breathing hard on yourself. Embrace yourself, love yourself, stop looking at the wrinkles and, the body, et cetera, et cetera. Take care of the body, don't get it twisted, but at the same time too, love yourself and look at the positive aspects of life that you've been able to navigate through your lifetime. However, supporting that mental health as aging helps us ensure that we have a later life that is not only gonna have us, looking at things as in a self-sabotaging way, but be more richer, healthier, and more fulfilling as we're able to support our mental health, right? So if you found this video that was beneficial, give it a thumbs up, share if possible, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay blessed. Love yourself for those out there that are on the older aspect of life. But I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.